Hello and welcome to our baseball segment of Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Lucas,
I'm Tyler.
And I am Logan.
and today we will be talking about the Yankees and Cardinals series.
Starting off with, yeah.
We're going to be talking about the Mets, and we are going to be talking about the results of the trade deadline and how we think and reflect on how the teams were affected.
I guess we'll go into that series as a Yankees fan. We're not playing good right now. A lot of things are going bad. The offense is showing up some nights, but that night the pitching's not showing up. When the pitching's showing up great, the offense is not showing up at all. We broke out of our slumps the final game. Well, some of our slumps the final game, like Hicks, who was 0 for 33, which is actually insane how he was even in the lineup doing that. But yeah, great pitching from Domingo Germán, game 2. Can't be mad. He went 5 innings, 1 run. I mean, you can't be mad. But no one showed up hitting the ball.
Yeah, I got 2 words for you. Lars Nootbaar. Let me tell you, that name is going to become familiar with you if it's not already. 2 game-saving plays. That man saved the series. Great baseball player, great fielder, sometimes a great hitter. Cardinals pitching, spot on except for the last game. I don't know what happened there. You give up 9 runs. You shouldn't win a baseball game. But yeah, all cylinders were firing. And I think, coming forward, the Cardinals are going to hope to have Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt continue the way they've been hitting.
All I have to say is, Ed Hickox, you have to lock your doors. Just lock them. Lock them now. The umping in that final game was horrendous. Just terrible. Horrible. I mean, we can't say we would have won that game because we gave up 12 runs pitching, which is actually horrible. But what is this? Like, the 3-2 to Marwin with the bases loaded, like 4 or 5 inches off the plate. That's insane. Adam Wainwright throwing curveballs down the middle. The judge being called balls. We just need robotic umps. I just feel it. I don't know. That game just swayed my opinion. Robotic umps.
Boo hoo. Let me tell you, the Yankees have the best batting lineup in all of baseball. I'll stand by that. I'm going to stand by that statement.
Stan and Rizzo out, though, so.
You got Stan and Rizzo out.
Yeah.
However, Adam Wainwright is throwing his curveball. Looks like it's like 68 to like 72. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know about you. That's slower than a high school fastball. A lot slower. Now, these Yankees, like Gleyber Torres, Aaron Boone was talking about the other day, Gleyber Torres, his bottom half's not connected with his top half. Mm-hmm. I just think his brain is just, jumbled right now. I don't think they've seen many 68-mile-per-hour curveballs this year. I don't think the ump has either.
I think Gleyber's just, he's swinging way too much. He needs to take a lot more pitches. He cannot hit an off-speed pitch right now, and it's why he's slumping.
And it doesn't help when you have an umpire with an aggressive zone.
Mm-hmm. Another reason why Oswald should be called up, I mean, we can add him to the September roster when they expand, but I think he should be called up soon. He's crushing it in AAA, and I just don't like the way that Gleyber's playing right now, and I'd love to see Oswald come in and start at second.
How about Jordan Montgomery? Let's talk about Monty for a second.
He had his
Great
revenge
dude.
game. He got revenge. It's over with now. He just shut us down. Not much else to say.
Great dude. And did I say he is a dog lover? Yep, he's a dog lover. Gotta love dog lovers. He has a dog. Lovely person. Fits the St. Louis Cardinals franchise very, very well. Can't say the same about Yankees fans. I know many Yankees fans. I don't want to get blamed for this. Yankees fans are not the nicest people in the world. I don't want to generalize them, but like a lot of, I know I just did, but like there's a lot of Yankees fans out there that have done some not so good things. And I think you can count on one hand the amount of Cardinals fans that have done something wrong.
Well, it's just the big fan bases. Like, all big fan bases are going to have bad fans. And obviously, it sticks out for our fan base because we have one of the biggest fan bases in sports, obviously. Like, obviously, big fan bases like the Cowboys, they're gonna have some bad fans. You know,
Patriots.
the Patriots, yeah, so on and so on. Like all fan bases are gonna have bad fans. I feel like some of our fans, you know, get a little bit over the line. I'd say we also have a portion of our fan base is probably one of the worst, but there's other fan bases, you know, that do a lot more worse stuff, like maybe the Braves fans. You know, that one comment. I think you know that.
I thought it was I thought it was interesting
Oh.
how, you know, I saw that I was watching it. I just remember this. I was watching the series and I thought it was so interesting how, you know, the Cardinals pitching, right? I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cardinals fan. Their pitching staff has a bunch of fossils on it. I mean, those guys are old. And they're still, I mean, they're not like, you go to the bullpen, you got the young guns. You got the guys throwing 101 to 103, 104. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But you look at those guys, I'm sure the average velocity has to be below 95 miles per hour. And they're still able to execute their pitches. I was surprised Waino had over 100 pitches in, what, 5 innings? 6
Yeah,
innings?
he went like, I think he went through 4.
It's like
but-
80, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot. Montez's first start, he was a little shaky, but it was a little expected. It was his first start in about like 13 days. Arrived late because of a family death. First time throwing with Trevino. No chemistry really involved. He went like 2.5. He went like 2.5 innings. But yeah, we'll give him the excuse. I know the pressure of the Yankee fan base, since it's a large fan base, it's gonna get to him. But we're gonna see in his next few starts how he handles it, and if he's able to be a dominant pitcher like he was.
You got a lot of deep fly balls in the series. And, you know, usually at Yankee Stadium, I know, like we've had this discussion before.
Here we go.
The
Mickey
problem
Mouse
is,
Clubhouse.
you know, you got a small stadium like Yankee Stadium.
To right field.
Sit right and left.
It's not that. It's an average
Left
to
is,
left.
Left,
Left
is
is average.
still kind of short.
I mean, it's bigger than like the Mets.
Okay. Our high school
It is.
field
Okay,
is
but
the
we have
same
that.
distance.
It's only because we have that.
Our left field is the same distance. Now, let's break this down really quick. There should be no reason Aaron Judge hits a ball to right center field, and the immediate impulse reaction is, oh my God, it's gone.
I mean, there wasn't a really. He didn't like pimp it. He didn't really do
All I
much.
saw were Yankees fans going, oh my God, I thought
They
that
do
ball
that
was out.
every time a Yankee player hits a pop up that goes to the outfield. That's not like 200 feet high. Every Yankee fan thinks it's a home run.
I understand. You guys hit a
It's
lot of home
everywhere.
runs. Yeah, okay.
It's everywhere.
All right.
But like, it's different. Like when Rizzo hit one in City Field when it was a home run at the short porch. That's different because that was obvious home run in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
This one was like more like right center, center-ish. You know, that one probably wouldn't have been gone at Yankee Stadium either. But
How do you think the Yankees are going to be able to separate themselves again? Like, they seem like they were unbeatable, like, in earlier months. How do you think they're going to come back, and how do you think they're going to, like, bounce back
I
in the
just
coming months?
feel Stanton and Rizzo need to come back healthy. I mean, you have that lineup healthy, hitting lineup healthy. I feel like Pereza, if he gets called up, he can definitely be a spark. Like when Glaber got called up a long time ago. I just feel like the bullpen is going to have to step it back up. There's been some shaky performances from Clay Holmes. Other bullpen pitchers, like against the Cardinals in that third game, the bullpen pretty much blew that game. The offense was there. I know Montez gave up 6 runs, but the bullpen was there. We scored 9 runs. All we had to do was just not give up those 6 more. And when you give up 12 runs in a game, you're not winning at all.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Cardinals bullpen either, because it seems like, you know, these Joe Randoms start popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
And you got Chris Stratton
Mm-hmm.
from the Pirates. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher, but he went in there and almost blew the game. Wasn't a big fan of that.
I feel like we should definitely not have sent down Ron. I just feel like Lucas Lucky was not,
Ludge.
or yet Ludge.
Yeah, I think.
It's a too pronounced. Yankees fans pronounce it however they want, so we're gonna do that. But I just feel like he should have got sent down instead of Ron. I just feel like Ron, he's been doing a lot better than he has the whole year, especially of recent. So I don't know. I just feel like the bullpen needs to really step it up. Also, starting pitching, Garrett Cole had a terrible performance the last time he pitched in a game we should have won, but he gave up 6 runs in the first inning. So
All right, well, you heard it here. Bullpen and the batting lineup needs to hit. Now we're going to talk about the Mets, who have been rock solid these past few weeks.
I mean, the Mets, after the All-Star break, They came out swinging, and they really set the tone for the NL East the rest of the season with the Atlanta Braves. I mean, you went into Atlanta before the All-Star break. It's only a 2.5 game lead. You take 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. You come back to New York, and you take 4 out of 5 in a huge series. They have the Braves sweep. They're in first place in the division. So, I mean, when you play against a team like the Braves, a historic rivalry with the Mets, and you play, the fans are passionate. I mean, there's a lot of emotions running high. So, I think playing at Citi Field was an obvious advantage. But I think right now the Mets are just a better team than the Braves are, and that's a big part to the starting pitching. The starting pitching, ever since Max Scherzer came back, has been phenomenal. It's like sub 2.5 ERA for the whole starting pitching staff. Cookie's been amazing. Bassett's been solid. Taiwan's struggling a little bit, but other than that, he's been solid. Jake does Jake things, and then Scherzer does Scherzer things. So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely a team that a lot of teams are not going to want to face come playoff time if this team can stay healthy.
I feel like the next few weeks is who's going to determine who wins the NL East. I mean, the Mets, they're playing the red hot Phillies twice in 2 series, and they're also playing the Braves in Atlanta. So this is really going to decide who's going to win this division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it's a matter of Ronald Acuna coming back for the Rays or Braves. It's a matter of Ronald Acuna Jr. living up to the hype, living up to the potential that we know and have seen from him in past seasons. Do I think Ronald Acuna Jr. will clutch up come the following months? Absolutely. I absolutely do.
I'm gonna have to make a cut on that one. Okay.
Do you think Ronald Acuna Jr. is fully healthy, or do you think he's just trying to help his club?
He's not fully healthy right now. You could clearly see, in Game 5, I think, you could see him running to catch. There was a pop-up into foul ball territory. He kind of stopped a little subtly. It looked weird, and he was rounding first base for a double. You could see he's not at full 100% running, because when you see Ronald Acuna run at full speed, he's really fast. So there's definitely some lingering stuff. Maybe he's a little scared to re-injure that spot, but yeah, there's definitely something going on.
To branch back to the Mets, Edwin Diaz, his arm has been used a lot recently. With the easy schedule coming up in September, do you think they rest him a little bit before the playoffs?
I mean, I think they expect to have a lot of big leads come September against some of these sub-500 teams. You're not going to have to go to Edwin Diaz a lot. You're going to be able to use arms like Tommy Hunter when he comes back, Tyler Magill when he comes back, Drew Smith when he comes back. A lot of injured people for the Mets bullpen. David Peterson, I don't know how they're going to use him. He's been way better as a starter than he's been as a reliever. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him, if they use him in long relief or if they use him as a starter. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a lot of they're going to be able to rest Edwin Diaz come September.
So, like, what along with Edwin Diaz and talking about, him staying healthy down the stretch and the amount of depth he adds to the bullpen, Jacob deGrom made some rehab starts in AAA. I just want to hear, like, what internally you were thinking when he was making those starts, because he didn't do amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, like, because Max Scherzer in his last rehab start, he gave up like 3 runs in like 2 innings or something like that, and he came back and he was lights out. So, I mean, I guess Jake was really just trying to feel out some of his other pitches, maybe figuring out how to locate some of his pitches coming back. And, I mean, it's still a AAA game. It's not going to feel like a Major League Baseball game. But we all saw what came out of it. He came out and he's still looking like the best pitcher in the world. So, yeah, I mean, I was more like, don't rush him back. We're playing good baseball. Don't rush him back. We're going to need him come October, come September. So, yeah, don't rush him back.
I want to talk about the playoffs this year. I feel like this has the potential to be one of the greatest playoffs of the decade, especially on the NL side, as the NL is completely stacked. And if teams like the Yankees and Astros and Mets.
That's the AL.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, if the Yankees. If the Yankees and Astros are healthy, it's gonna be a great.
That would be an amazing championship series for the American League. And then with the National League, I mean, you've got the Padres, who just loaded up with a bunch of trades. Brandon Drury, super underrated pickup for them. You got Josh Bell with the Juan Soto trade also. And then the Dodgers, they're just the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, stacked.
Yeah, and
top
then
to bottom.
The Mets made some people were not happy with the Mets acquisitions at the deadline. You got Daniel Vogelbach like a couple weeks before the deadline. He's been great for the Mets so far. his on base percentage with them is like 450 or something like that right now.
You know who Daniel Vogelback reminds me of? Lucas Duda in his prime.
I don't remember Lucas Duda.
I don't know if you don't know who
I
Lucas
know
Duda
who
is.
Lucas is.
Lucas Duda, big left-handed bat. You know, when he hits his home runs, he hits them in bunches.
Like his
I
donuts.
think that's going to be clutch.
Like his donuts.
Like his donuts. Over time, I think that's going to be really clutch for the New York Mets. To wrap it up, that was our baseball
Wait,
segment of
One
Table
last
Talk.
question. Who do you think is going to get the 2 wild card spots for the NL?
I'm going with the Padres, Phillies. Well, there's 3.
2.
There's 2.
Two.
Oh, 2 wild card spots.
Yeah.
Oh, Padres and Phillies. I think the Brewers are gonna miss out.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I
That's a
don't
close
think,
Phillies
division
keep it
right
up,
there.
I don't think the Brewers are that good, to be honest. Other than their pitch, I don't have faith in their
Right. I
lineup.
agree.
To be honest.
All right, well, that was our baseball segment of Table Talk on Table Talk Sports. Thank you for joining us.